Welcome everyone to a very special edition of the Vibrant Family video. And you can see, this is the Father's Day special. I'm really looking forward to a very vibrant episode today. Happy Father's Day, men.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to get right into it. We have several things we want to talk to you about, and PT's going to lead that discussion with you. But I'm going to start us off with asking you to introduce yourself, your family, how many kids you have, grandkids as well, and their ages. Of course, Grandpa Joe, you got to tell us about your grandkids.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to ask you a question. I know for the fathers, for Father's Day, it's all about the food. So tell us, along with that general information about your family, tell us what is your favorite, or what are you expecting for food this Father's Day. We're going to start with starting with the youngest to the oldest.
I guess that's me. Sure. My name is Danny. I've been married 5 years. That is correct, 5 years. And I have 2 kids. It's Augie, this one, and Junie. Augie is now 3, turning 4, and Junie is almost 1. In the next 6 days, she'll be 1. What I'm expecting, I'm not really expecting any food, but currently, right now, since we're talking about it, I really want to eat boiling crab or anything of that sort, specifically garlic butter shrimp, garlic fries, garlic butter noodles, and garlic butter straight.
I'm seeing a theme here,
yeah. So that's what I currently want. Now, whether that's going to happen on Father's Day, I don't know, but that's just what I want right now. Since we're talking.
You threw out the hint out there. All right.
Yeah.
How about Terrence?
Hopefully she's watching.
That's right. Okay. I'm Terrence, and I'm married to Regina. This year actually will be 20. And so we have 3 kids, ages 16, 12, and 7. And I think that's enough for us. In terms of what I want for Father's Day dinner, I can tell you my favorite Father's Day dinner, which she's made a few times, and every time she makes it, it feels like a Christmas morning. I really like prime rib and asparagus. So, with like the au jus, like the fresh, truly spicy horseradish, I love that stuff. So looking forward, well, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that, but I'm just looking forward to Father's Day. But if that comes again, that would be great.
Nice.
Grandpa Joe.
Joe, I'm married to Denise. We've been married for 35 years, I think. We have 3 kids. Christy on the, right there, Christy, John, Zoe. This was taken 2 years ago, so she's a lot bigger. Then we got David and Kim, Cheryl, Daniel, and then somewhere back there, all the grandkids. Chrissy gave birth. This picture was taken in early part of November last year. That's part of our Christmas picture. So you're missing the triplets. Chrissy does have the triplets. So Peyton, Riley, and Skylar. and then Cheryl has 2. In the picture is Taylor, but then she gave birth earlier in the month to Levi. So
You've got your basketball team, Joe.
Well, when each of the kids got married, I told them my dream is to coach a team of all my grandkids. So it's 5 on the court and 3 on the bench.
Awesome, because my dream is to create a family of 5.
Just 5? Come on, you got to have
4.
it even.
4, so then I can play the 5th.
Oh, well, if you have 5, then you'll be the 6th. So either way.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be 5, just 4. My team will play your team.
Oh, man.
Hey, that sounds cool.
I know that rolls right into our... I knew you guys would fall for this, because my first question to you is, what sports analogy describes your home?
Should I go first? Youngest first. I'll go first. Well, I want a team of like basketball players. So me, my wife, Robin, and Augie, we're training him. then Junie and someone else. But
Oh, nice.
for the sake of the question, what sport analogy describes my home life? I think the answer would have to be football, because we have to fend off Augie when he's running at and we have to protect Junie when Augie's running at her at top speed. And then he quarterbacks a lot. Like, he starts barking orders. He'll tell us like what to do, what actions to do, what plays to run, you know. So I think football is a very good analogy, because mainly because our firstborn is such a tyrant.
This is going to be recorded forever, Danny. You're going to watch this and be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool. You know, for me, I know you guys all love basketball too, but you know, so not trying to take that, but my favorite sport's basketball too. And for me, the simple analogy is just that we're kind of people that play zone defense. We're kind of taking each separate part of our kids' lives and work and family, and Regina does a lot of things really well to hold the fort down at home and just really be with the kids. And then for me, whether it's ministry or just things that, you know, go outward a little bit more, I tend to focus on that. But then we then complement each other in terms of how we parent or discipline or teach or spend time. And so we're constantly talking about how to best do that and connect. And then, you know, there's a lot of times when I need to hear from her too, in terms of when I make mistakes and I need to change, or if I'm not connecting with a kid a certain way. And so really it's a zone defense. We cover different parts and we just try to do the best we can.
Very good. For Denise and I think I like to think of it as a golf game right now. Only because when you play golf, you know, you tee up, you hit the ball, action. Then you walk to the ball, hit it again, action. So for us, it's something like that, because, you know, during the week, it's just the two of us. So we just, you know, she's upstairs working, downstairs working. I'm upstairs because I'm working from home. So we see each other mainly during meals. So it's a pretty quiet life. But then we get a chance to see our grandkids, Christy's triplet and Zoe, at least on the weekend. It's either Saturday or Sunday. And action. It's like it just nonstop with them. And it's kind of amazing, because we'll sit down at the end of the day. We say, how did we ever do that when we were younger? You know, be a parent full time. It is kind of it wears us out. But now, right now, I think of it as a game of golf. But I remember in when the kids were in high school, yeah, I think of it as a hockey game. Only because, you know, you're going one way, you're turning direction the other, and you just
people getting hurt.
Moving. You're just constantly moving. I don't know if you guys ever seen a hockey game. It's always it's that, and then you're just going at 100 miles an hour. That's how our lives were until when Christy started in junior high, until Cheryl graduated. It's almost like we were just doing something or another.
So, man, I got to ask you guys, being fathers and grandfathers, what have you learned about kids? What was something that was really surprising to you? Because I know it shook my world when I first became a dad. How about you guys?
Potty training. That threw me in for a loop. That's the worst experience raising I've had yet. Hopefully that's the worst of it. I don't want anything, but that was tough. And I don't know if it's because Augie is just, some kids are just different. But it took us we took 2 attempts. The first attempt took us 3 months and we got nowhere. The second attempt, probably around like 4 to 5 months before he actually got it down. And even then it was like an 80% chance that he won't pee in his pants. But that was tough. Yeah. That threw me in for a huge loop. And then I would ask other dads, like my dad or like other PT, like, or whoever that had kids and potty trained them. I'm like, oh, so how'd you guys do it? Hoping to get some advice. And they always answer with like, you know what? I don't remember, or I don't know.
So true.
So absolutely useless.
Yeah.
So,
How about you, Joe? What was something that you learned about kids? Something that was surprising for you?
Well, what surprised me about my kids is I know nothing about kids, especially my daughters. There's just no way. Yeah, I've been working with kids most of my life. You know, right after I graduated from high school, I started doing RAs. So you know, when I had my kids, I thought, man, I'm ready. I could do it. But man, having your own kids is totally different. So what I learned is you just go with each of them because each of them have their own personality, and there's no one set of rules that I can apply. I thought I could do it, but you know, it just didn't work out that way. But each of them are different, and I think I had hopefully I had fun with each of them and working with them.
Yeah, for me, I remember before we had our first one, I was actually always terrified of babies. I was never wanting to hold one. I thought that I would break a baby if I even had a chance to get near one. But then I think what surprised me the most, not so much that, you know, I'm a super baby holder or something, but just having your own kid, it just the connection that you feel to your own kid, it's kind of amazing. It really it really hits home, you know, a lot of the ways in which, you know, we see God and you're like, wait, I love this kid so much. I have no clue what I'm doing. I might still break this kid, but I just love this kid. But then how much more does God love me? And I think I'm still astounded by that even today, to the extent in which, you know, God wants us to know him as Heavenly Father. It's just amazing. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to ask you guys, what is one habit that your family has or you try to do to point your kids or grandkids to God?
I think this whole pandemic has provided us a really good opportunity, actually, with the kids. For one, the Sunday school lessons, it's now the parents are kind of teaching the kids. And I think I really enjoyed that. Granted, it's difficult to have him like sit still because we're at home and he just wants to jump and run.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, we have like a small curriculum for him. We have storytelling, singing, and crafts. And, you know, Robin, my wife, is a big part of that. And I think that was really fun. And whether he learns something or not, I mean, we try to teach him something, but, you know, it is what it is. And then the other thing we do is we have a nightly routine, which is we always sing a song, and then we pray. So I
Would
think.
you like to sing a song for us now, Danny?
You want him to sing one? It's not good. It's not cute when I do it. But with the songs I would choose, that has to be like a praise the Lord song. And he knows that, but he'll always be like, I want to sing Itsy Bitsy Spider. It's like, no, we can't sing that because it's not praising the Lord. So anyway, yeah, I think that we're trying to set up like a routine like that. One thing I think we could do better is, for me and my wife, at least, to be more of an example for him in terms of like praying or even reading the Bible or even referring to the Bible. Usually, like, we try to teach him about God at every moment we can. For instance, if he does something wrong, then we explain it to him, and then we tie it to obedience to God and obedience to parents. And then we take the time to talk and pray, like after he did something wrong, to pray to God for forgiveness, like that kind of idea. So, I mean, I think there's always a lot more we can do, but those are the few habits that we're trying to keep up with.
Yeah, thanks. That's great. How about you, Joe? Or maybe even with the grandkids now, what are some things that you want to do or you do with them to point them to God?
I think one of the things we did as a family is we always, when we sit down to a meal, I make sure that you know, we pray together. We also, I enjoy the fact that I make sure we hold hands to pray. Well, only because it just shows that, we are one family.
Yeah, that's cool.
And even, especially when we go out, it sort of shows others that we are one in God, and we are one family in God. And that's always been the thing I really want to instill in the kids, that you always want to be that one family, especially with God.
Yeah, for us, we try to end each day just with some time together, sharing something we're thankful for every day, and then sharing a prayer request. And that sounds so basic, but the confession is sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, whether it's to round up the kids, or if even, we had some kind of a conflict, or even it's just a busy day, we're worn out by the end. And the easiest thing to do is just to tell all the kids to go to bed. So we've just, tried our best to, to remember something that God did during the day, and to give thanks together, and to pray together. I hope that continues to carry us too.
Yep.
So here's something that I want to ask you guys. How has being a dad changed you, or maybe given insight on how you can be a better husband?
I think since being a dad, I've had to sacrifice more and more. So I think sacrificing is now I guess I don't say second nature, but like it's I guess it's expected. So that's true for both the kids and for my wife. And then I think it's also a really good, you can say having kids is a good family project, because like you got to team up with your wife to figure out this organism, this life form, to make sure he grows up fine, just taken care of, and then and it's not like we had for one, Augie was an accident for us, so we were kind of thrusted into this parenthood. So it's not like we were reading up on books to get prepared for parenthood and stuff like that.
Although you're never fully prepared, right? No matter how much.
So it's, but the thing is, it's not like we even tried.
Yeah.
It's like, it's refining through fire kind of thing, trial by fire. I think the one big takeaway when we started having kids is we started having a lot of conversations about what to do with the kid, and how to take care of the kid, and schooling for the kid even, or educating the kid, or what habits we want to instill in the kids. And then we talked a little bit about how we should parent the kids. And anyway, so it kind of forced us to, because there's now a challenge, or not, a challenge in front of us that we can both focus on and make sure we're on the same page. That's a really strong reason to unite with each other. I know I'm making it sound like it's parents versus kids. Well, actually, yeah, it is. So
there you go.
True.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But yeah, that's I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned, is how to unite with my wife. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thanks for the brutal honesty.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe?
I think the way I am as a father right now isn't what I started to be. I think when I first became a dad, I had no idea what being a father means. So I was kind of tough. It's kind of tough on them, and I gotta apologize to Christy, because she took the blunt of what I did. And you hate to say it, but you learn by doing, and she was my guinea pig. So and then as the years gone by, going through David and Cheryl, I think Cheryl had it easy, where I sort of mellowed out a little when I got to her. So
Grace, Christy's okay.
She is right. She's not. She is very tough.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like whatever you learn from Christy, you're like, okay, I got this. And the second one came, it's David, completely different.
It is truly. You are truly correct. David was very mellow compared. He just really kicked back. And then we get to Cheryl. Well, I can't share stories, but she was pretty tough too. But I think what I am right now as a father, I look back and I really want to thank God that despite me, they grown up that way. And the other thing I really got to say is that it's really because of she's the one that really is the one that spend the most time with them, and I think you can see that the influence she had, all the positive influence she had on my kids. And even now, as a grandfather, I think I just have fun with my grandkids. I have no responsibility whatsoever. I go there, and Christy says, "Feed them." Okay. Purple. Okay, I'll do that. Read them a story. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen your assembly line pictures.
Oh, yeah, wow. No, you used to see me holding it. I haven't changed the diaper yet. Oh. That's a great thing about being a grandparent. This one needs changing here. So I'm having a great time with my grandkids.
For me, I think I've really come to appreciate Regina a lot more. So, I mentioned at the beginning of how it's kind of a zone defense for us, which means that we kind of focus on different things. But then because we do, the kids treat us differently too. Not always the same, but sometimes good, sometimes bad. And they certainly try to play us off of each other at times. And so I've just kind of seen that a lot of times, she needs the support and we need to touch base. And I've just come to appreciate that, the parenting part doesn't come because you're expert parents. The parenting part comes because you treasure your spouse, and then you're able to do it together. Doesn't mean that I've come far from doing it perfectly. I have come far from doing it perfectly, but I think I just appreciate her and treasure her more and more. And that it's not the kids first and then us second, but it's let's keep working on our marriage first, because eventually the kids will leave us. But all we can do is say that we've done our best, but then we'll still have each other. And so maybe it's just, this being a kind of a big anniversary in some ways. Those are the things that's been crossing my mind. And I've just kind of grown to appreciate her a lot more and recognize that we do things differently for a reason. And that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, I want to also plug in. I really appreciate my wife too. I think she does a lot for the kids. And yeah, thank you. You're watching.
I think the main theme, especially as parents, is you both you and the wife got to be on the same page, no matter what. And I think it'll work out easier if you guys sort of get together with the parenting stuff.
Yeah.
I think I could have been very hard on my kids because of how my parents were with me, but Denise toned me down, said, let's do it some other way. So I think we just, all through the years, I think the thing is we always had each other's back, and that has really worked out for us.
Oh, I'm so blessed to hear that, how much you appreciate our wives, your wives.
This Father's Day it's actually a Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Right?
Father's Day is just a cover-up.
We deserve more than one day a year, so well, you know what, guys? I'm really blessed by your humility and your trust in God, and it is not an easy job to be the man of the home and to take on that responsibility. So as we close up this episode, I just want to ask you, what is something that you would like to thank your own father? So to maybe give them a little bit of a tribute on either something that maybe they've done right.
Okay, I think my dad is a great grandfather. He loves the kids. He's also a good dad, and I think he taught me how to respect other people, and then also he taught me how to play with kids because he's kind of a big kid himself. So like he knows how to play with kids, and I think he played with me a lot. So I think that is kind of something that I can play with Augie, or play with Junie a lot too. So I think that's just being playful in general.
For me, my dad's dad died when he was only 5, so he kind of grew up without a dad. And so I kind of always realized that, my dad kind of doesn't know what he's doing. Not that he did it poorly, but everything was kind of like him doing it for the first time. So I remember growing up, maybe it's the whole immigrant experience that, he was just working hard and I hardly talked to him. But then now, I see that, especially after getting married and having kids, that I see that he's trying hard, and he still, in a sense, doesn't know what he's doing because there's not someone that showed him how. But that this journey of fatherhood and walking with your kids and now grandkids, it's just important, and you always get second chances. So I appreciate my dad because he's never stopped trying to be a dad and a grandfather. And I think there's a lot that I just look up to him simply for that he's not looked back and thought, what, I shouldn't, be the same as other people, but he keeps trying. So I appreciate that.
We immigrated from Hong Kong when we were 6, so my dad worked hard, and that's where I get a lot of my work ethics. He just put his head down and just worked, provided for the family. But the other thing I saw was when I had my kids, and how much he loved them. And I just think if he had the opportunity, because you're fresh in America, you don't know the language, so he was a cook 6 days a week, 12-hour days. So it was tough for us to bond in any way. But when we had Christy and David, he was retired, so he spent a lot more time with them, and you could just see how much he loved them. And the thing that surprised me was he was asking them for hugs and kisses. I remember my dad touched me maybe once or twice in my whole lifetime.
Yeah.
But that's the way he grew up. So there's nothing I could say about that. But he did teach me about loving and how to be loving to my kids.
Yeah, thank you so much for your honest sharing. And, I want to invite the listeners who are watching this, that they also put in the comments to tell us something about how God has blessed them as dads, and also how God has blessed them with their dad, and what is something that they appreciate about their fathers. I think it's important for us to think of where we came from and what how God has blessed us. I think sometimes I do, I remember bad things about my dad because my dad was strict, but yet at the same time, just remembering how hard he did provide for our family. And he he came as an immigrant like Joe's family, and he had a restaurant, working 7 days a week. And not until when I became a parent that I really appreciated the way that he worked hard and the way that he sacrificed. I always kind of resented that he had to be away so long. He's never been to our open house and, those kind of things. Now as a parent, I realized, wow, my dad really put up with a lot from us, because I have 3 siblings, so there are 4 of us, very close in age, and how much he had to, as an immigrant, provide for this big family. So thank you so much again for your sharing. I hope this has been an encouragement to our listeners to celebrate Father's Day, as well as to just give our families a hug. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.